Go into your Dasher app, go into ratings, and see if you have this. Go into your Dasher app, go into ratings, and see if you have this. This is just expanding into more marketplaces. I'm in Pittsburgh. I got this days ago. Some Dashers got this months ago. Some Dashers even earlier, depending. Quality rate. It's an entirely new metric, rating in your Dasher app. One more thing to worry about, but is this really going to be a big issue? So what is quality rate if you drive on DoorDash? This is directly from the company. They say, hey, quality rates measures how often you complete orders without reported issues. It's based on your last 100 orders. And reports are verified before they affect your score. Completed orders can take up to 12 hours to be reflected in that quality rate while we review and validate customer reports. So if there is an issue, it's going to be verified, reviewed, but we're going to get into that, and hang with me to the end of this video. I have real feedback from Dashers like you, unfiltered feedback. Wait till you hear that. The good and maybe more so the bad. Let me know if you have quality rate in the live chat, if you like it or not. These reports are factored into your quality rate based on severity. So here's the two things you have to worry about. This is it. Two different kinds of issues with quality rate. Minor issues and major issues. Minor being missing items, damaged items, like the stuff you're delivering, okay? And this is a percentage basis. So if you have any minor issues, it subtracts 1%. Why does all that matter? Why does the number matter? Again, we're going to go over that in this video. Major issues: wrong order delivered, order never delivered. So you mixed it up, and I just had this on an Uber Eats shift where I mixed up the order. And there's like receipt photos, there's a verification screens at delivery. Hey, make sure you pick the right one. It's from Taco Bell. Here's the receipt picture. Obviously, here's like the customer info. So make sure you select the right one, right? Or you never delivered it in the first place. But what if you did deliver it and the customer says you didn't? I've also had that. Frankly, I think on both Uber Eats and DoorDash. That's more severe. That subtracts 3 percentage points from this quality rate. So that's quality rate. It's in your ratings tab. You can go in there right now and let me know if you have it. Fairness protections. Welcome in everyone here. Adam, son and dad. I see Ian popped over as well. What's up, man? Welcome. It's Ian on YouTube. Thanks for stopping in for the news update to Mockingjay, one of our other moderators. Welcome in as well. This fairness protection. Okay, well, I'm protected though. The company says, we understand that not all customer reported quality issues are within your control. That's one of the biggest critiques I see, and we'll hear from Dashers later. Hey, I can't control if an item's missing, if the bag is sealed. What about a damaged item? If they give you the Dash Mart order for the White Monster, which everyone knows is the best flavor, and this is damaged, are you going to have to be like, Dash Mart, I'm going to get hit for quality rate. Give me a shiny, nice can like the one Mike has here, which is agreeably the best flavor, right? That's out of your control. So we've implemented safeguards to ensure that this rating is fair to Dashers. But do you agree with this? Every customer report is validated before it affects your quality rates. So they're checking things. Is this enough? Let me ask that. Is this enough of a check, of a system of checks and balances? They check delivery photos. So that, contactless delivery. Hey, I put it on your porch outside of the rain. It was not knocked over whenever I delivered it. I did not deliver it right in front of the door, so I don't know why you're telling me it's damaged. When your dog came out and knocked it over, who knows what, right? Instructions. I delivered it on the green chair. I delivered it on the bistro table on the front porch. I delivered it sitting on the red couch on the porch as instructed, right? These are some of the customer instructions you'll have. Now, I've been doing gig work since 2015, DoorDash since 2018, so you definitely want to subscribe here. This is the best place to learn about the gig economy, and if you can drop a like on this video, I'd appreciate it. And customer history to ensure accuracy. Why does that matter for these claims that you did not provide a quality service? Well, I mean, I'll tee you up with the next video to watch after this one. Watch the video that I just posted today, or I'll leave it linked down below, where an Uber Eats customer tried to change the delivery on me. So if the customer has a history of fraudulent behavior or something, that will also go into this to ensure fairness. Let's continue. If we didn't send you any reminders to check for certain items on an order, missing those items will not impact your rating. You know how they send you that reminder like, hey, check for drinks, stuff like that, then it's not going to go against the quality rate. In certain pilot areas, again, this is taken directly from DoorDash, quality rate will also be used to determine eligibility for Dasher rewards. That is the rewards program. This is kind of the intro here to quality rate, a refresher here. So let me know if A, you have it, and B, if it goes into the rewards program. But I'm going to show you my quality rate here in a second. Welcome in, everyone. I see you live. If you don't want to miss the live so you can be the first to know stuff like this, tap that notification bell and select all notifications. But repeated instances of those major issues, the big ones, may also result in contract violations. Do you forget about that? The contract violation, there's extreme lateness. There is order never delivered, which is exactly the same verbiage as quality rate. Same thing. It's just classified as a contract violation. Now, too many of those, then you can be deactivated. Then you lose your side hustle, use access to the platform entirely. So you don't want too many contract violations. Now, here's the expansion, okay? There's your summation of quality rate. There's your intro if you've never heard about quality rates, or if it just popped up in your Dasher app and you're like, what is this entirely new thing that, yes, you're being rated on? So this is what I got here in Pittsburgh. Let me know if you just got this email. Now, for me, it says, hi, Mike. We're excited to introduce a new pilot rating in the Dasher app, quality rates. This rating gives you a more objective, actionable feedback after each delivery, helping you understand what makes a great delivery experience and rewarding you for consistently delivering high quality service. How though? Does it? These are the questions. I'm just throwing up these questions to you, and we're going to answer that throughout this video. Does it really reward you if you have a better quality rate, right? So here is my current driver profile as of today, hours ago. We're sitting at a solid 4% acceptance rate. The percent of times that they offer you an assignment and the percent of times you accept that assignment. Completion rates, the percent of offers you have accepted and completed. You made that delivery, 97%. Now I've accepted and then canceled sometimes because I changed my mind. All right, you can do that, but keep that number above 90%. On-time rates, also new, but this video is not about on-time rates. You can search the channel for on-time rate info. But there's the new quality rates. So this is what your ratings tab is going to look like. Brand new. And you can see my other metrics there respectively. So let's take a closer look here. If you tap on quality rates, this is what it says. Currently, I have an amazing 100% quality rate. It's measured on my last 6 deliveries. That is how new this is to my marketplace. Again, I'm in Pittsburgh. Let me know in the live chat or the comments down below what marketplace you're in and if you have this. Because I just got it. I only have 6 measured here. Now we can see orders without issues, 6. Orders with major issues, 0. So no issues, okay. Orders with minor issues, 0. I have no problems with delivering a quality experience, no damaged items, no delivering the wrong offer, no not delivering at all, and no missing items. And I was thinking, you see how there's an arrow? You see that? There's an arrow next to each number. So I tapped on that. I'm like, okay, well, if you didn't know, with the aforementioned on time rates, if I tap on that, it lists the last 100 offers that you've accepted. And it shows me if I was on time or late. So I'm like, all right, sweet. Let me tap on this to see if I can get some more info, and there's nothing. So just a heads up, DoorDash, this is so new, at least here in Pittsburgh, that when I tap on that arrow, which clearly delineates that it's supposed to give me more information, it doesn't show me anything. And I tried tapping on everything and it doesn't show me anything. I tried it at different times of the day. Maybe it was like a connection issue. So little heads up there. Let's fix that. And I appreciate your comments, like Springfield saying, hey, too bad we can't rate the customers. And then Stacy joining as well. Save your questions for the end of this video. That's our Q&A section. I want you to save for that. Now, I mentioned before, or DoorDash even mentioned, that this new quality rate might go into the rewards program. That's right. One more thing to manage to hit, what is it? Silver, gold, platinum. There's so many different tiers. There is what? Silver, platinum, diamond or something from Uber Eats. They're very similar. They overlap in my mind all the time. Gold, silver, platinum, you get the point. So here in Pittsburgh, it does not go into the rewards program. Whew. Breathe a sigh of relief. So at least on a preliminary basis, if you're going for rewards, you can see there at the bottom, silver, gold, and platinum. It is measured on acceptance rate, completion rates, customer rating, and deliveries in the last 30 days. Now, this is the what I call V1 version 1 called Dasher Rewards. There's a newer point system. I believe we have a screenshot here in a second of the updated overall Dasher rating program, which gives you a little bit more flexibility, which is nice. Now, remember, I told you about those ratings protections, but is it fair? Is it fair? Let me pass that question off to you. So DoorDash said, hey, we review any major and minor issues, to use their verbiage. It's major and minor issues. We review that. And if it wasn't your fault, then it doesn't count. And this might really matter because, again, not at least in Pittsburgh now, but some marketplaces, quality rate goes into those reward programs. So number one, every customer report is validated before it affects your quality rate. And they're looking at the delivery photos, instructions, etc. Is that enough though? Can things happen where, let's say, we check delivery photos and I made a fine contactless delivery, but then they still hit me for some reason? The instructions said deliver to front door. I did that. It is a contactless, so you take a picture. I did that. But then what if the bag is sealed and they're missing an item? So I did everything right. I picked it up, confirmed the right name, bag is sealed. I can't verify the items, but then the customer said there's a missing item. What about that? Scenario number two, to go back to the energy drink thing. What if it is damaged? And I don't think it's that big of a deal, but like, let's say chips from the Dash Mart. Dash Mart's like a little convenience store from DoorDash. And what if the chips are smashed up because of rough handling? I didn't do anything. The Dash Mart bag is sealed as well. I couldn't even check the chips if I tried. So are they doing enough there? going back to the measurements of quality rates, missing items, can we verify missing items? Like I just said, damaged items. Can we verify damaged items? We're going to discuss that here in a second. For the major issues, wrong order delivered or order never delivered. Is that always your fault? Think about that. Like, take a second here. Think about that. Is it ever your fault? While we say what's up to Jose with the 149 super sticker. Thank you, Jose. Is that always your fault? Well, what about this? Well, you could say, yeah, man, of course it's your fault. If you delivered the wrong order, that's your fault. If you have a pickup for Sam and Stacy, if you get them switched up, that's your fault. Order never delivered. Dude, you have the food, you confirm my house number, you leave it on the front porch. If I don't get it, that's your fault. Not necessarily. And again, this is why you watch videos like this. I've been doing gig work again for over 10 years, part-time, a little bit full-time, but in different marketplaces as well. Thousands and thousands of trips and transactions across basically every single niche. So definitely like this video and consider subscribing. Let's tackle this. Wrong order delivered. What about this? And I've had this happen. I had it at Permane Brothers here in Pittsburgh. Someone was ordering a pizza from Permane's, not the typical thing you'd order from Permane's, but fine. And I gave it to the customer. And right in front of me, she opened the box, looks at the pizza and says, "This isn't what I got. I don't know Permane's menu. I don't know the difference looking at a pizza between that's the whatever Hawaiian versus, okay, the Hawaiian has pineapple. I get it. I don't know if it's your triple meat or whatever versus your this and that. I mean, you get the point. And I'm not going to open the box of food. So if you say wrong order delivered, I guess that could maybe fall under missing item, but it's not the courier's fault. And again, we're going to get into some scenarios of verifying, offers and stuff. Welcome in, Phil, with a very simplistic letter S. It's very ominous, Phil. Maybe a typo or something. What's up, Phil? Welcome in from Dallas, Texas. Mock and Jay also in here. Coach and more are in here live with us as well. And again, we'll take your questions here in a second. So it's not always the driver's fault if there's a missing item or even wrong order delivered, because that isn't the right item. And I remember on that offer, it said the customer's name, Stacy or whatever, on the pizza box. So as the dasher, I said, pick up for Stacy. They gave me a pizza box, which was for Stacy, but apparently, which I would have clearly assumed, they just put the wrong pizza in there. It was like the wrong offer, the wrong order they put in the pizza box. And that's a major issue. That's minus 3% immediately from your quality rate. Okay, moving on though. Minus 3 for order never delivered. Is it always your fault on order never delivered? How wouldn't it be? Dude, here's my pickup for Stacey. I have one house to go to. What did you do in the meantime? Why would you not deliver it? Again, hold on. This is why hopefully I give you a different flavor here. What about this? Let me give you another example. I'm not just talking from guessing. I've had this stuff happen to me. So let me tell you what happened to me. I was making a hand-it-to-me delivery. I don't even know where, somewhere here in Pittsburgh. And I verified the address. Firstly, from the pin on the map. There's a pin destination on, basically all of these apps. It's that house. That's verification number 1. Verification number 2. Okay, let me check the house number, 13, whatever. Yep, house number 13. So I verified twice it's the right address. Knock on the door, and someone answers the door, and I don't remember the exact dialogue, but I deliver the food, right? I make eye contact with the person and I hand them the food. And then shortly after that delivery, I got a notification or something that said I didn't deliver. Customer reported that they didn't receive the order. And this is in a video as well. So make sure to subscribe here because I document this stuff. And I was thinking, I made eye contact with you and I said, I got your DoorDash or whatever I said, right? And I think I proposed in that video, am I going to have to go back to rideshare verbiage? Because in rideshare, you don't say, hey, it's, are you Sarah, right? Because they could lie. They could say, yep, I'm Sarah, and get in your vehicle. So maybe we have to do that. I could say, are you waiting for DoorDash? And they say, yes. Okay, what's the name under? Because that's what I would say with rideshare. I've done that as well. What's the name under? And they'll say, oh, is it Dan? You're like, no. And I would tell the passengers, no, I'm not your driver, while keeping the doors locked. So are we going to have to do the same thing on food delivery for me to door now? I mean, at a single family house, probably not. But if it's an apartment complex and someone comes out, are we not trusting any customer now? Because I might get hit with an order never delivered. And that is quite rare because I've done, thousands of food delivery alone aside, and I don't ever really have that happen. It is very rare because the person that comes out, they're looking for the person with the DoorDash bag and they have their phone because they're cross-checking and we're all squared away. So I don't know what happened on that delivery, but someone opened the door at the correct location. It did not even look like an apartment. It looked like a single family home. So I don't know if it was separated into apartments. I don't know who that was. It was the correct address, or you better believe it, it was just a fraudulent customer. So it was the correct address and everything, but then they're like, you know what? As they're taking a bite of the pizza, I don't think the driver delivered it. And they just report that they didn't get it, but let's move on. Drivers like you react. Let's find out. Let's find out what drivers are saying. Now, of course, we have you here in the live chat. All markets right now. Brad, thanks for joining, one of our Team VIP channel members. If you want behind the scenes access, tap that join button down below. So this is why I need your help. Because for instance, Dave here in Tampa does not have it. I just got this quality rate here in Pittsburgh. So did you just get quality rates? Have you had quality? Dude, I've had this for 8 months. Let us know. Do you still not have it? Dave does not have it yet. Let us know. So here's what I did. I searched for drivers like you on the most, one of the most loud forums I could find, Reddit, where people are not shy sharing their opinions. Let's see what real drivers were saying recently. I looked in the last 6 months. I want the most recent expansion feedback, the most recent dashers that are getting this here. And this is what they said. So one dasher said, hey, is this just another metric to screw us? Again, you'll find some cynicism here. This channel is not a place for cynicism, but constructive criticism. If a program's not working, we discuss it here. So if you want a neutral, educated, but also critical stance, again, make sure to subscribe. And here's what some of the comments said about this quality rates. Is this a way to screw us? Maybe, maybe not. What concerns me is the customers that will report missing items to get freebies, like usual. Hopefully, there's a dispute process. And then someone responded, if the bag is sealed, should be disputable, but their AI won't be approving that. A lot going on here. I just told you that customer that said they did not get it. And I remember it was very shady. And again, I'll leave that another video link down below. I just posted today. If you like a little bit of some drama or whatnot, some exciting shifts, watch that video. I knew something was off. And I had something else happen on an Uber Eats offer probably a year and a half ago where the customer, I was at the correct, now I'm remembering again, I was at the correct address, verifying the house number. Yep. And I believe there was a light on. I could see through the doors because it was like the door with like the glass inserts. A light was on. This was around Christmas time. I think this was, probably November, December, maybe the year prior. And I am knocking. I'm ringing the doorbell. And then, of course, I'm calling and texting the customer because this was a metered door or whatever it is. Now, there's a countdown process. If they don't respond, you have to wait like 5 minutes or whatever it is, 4 minutes. Then you can take a picture. But I did all of that. I'm calling, I'm texting. You can reach out to supports. Typically, you can just follow the process. And I deliver. I take a picture. The timer runs out and I leave it and I take a picture. And then shortly after, as I'm on my next assignment, Uber support calls and says, we received a report that a customer did not get their assignment. And I'm thinking, and this is why I tell you to screenshot stuff, because I told support, I was like, I knew they were going to do that because it was just so shady. And I forget, there might've been some other stuff. Like maybe they said something to me. They're trying to make an excuse or whatnot, but the best practice for you, follow any instructions the app gives you, not the customer, but the app and support, and then document. So let's go back to this though. This Dasher is saying, okay, they could just do this to get freebies. Yep. So we need to make sure there is a very strict verification process. I don't think that this is going to do anything to encourage more of that. This is on the Dasher end. The customer does not see this. The customer does not see quality rate. The customer does not know about quality rate. Frankly, if they did, it's not going to, I say, encourage or discourage any more or less fraudulent behavior. So I don't think you have to worry about that. Next, hopefully there is a dispute process. At this time, there's not. Not to my knowledge. So DoorDash, much like we do with on-time rates, the thing that measures if you're on time or not, that has a dispute process. This needs a dispute process as well. And I'm not talking about the automatic one. They review pictures, customer history, and then instructions. That's what they're already doing with quality rates. But if this is going to go into rewards programs, this is a metric that's at the very worst, I guess, could lead to contract violations. We have disputes for basically all of that. We have disputes for deactivations. We have disputes for on-time rate. We have disputes, I believe, yes, for contract violations. So I would like to see a dispute process with quality rate as well. Next, more reactions. I don't have it yet, but I don't see how adding a quality metric is going to help drivers. Depending on how they define quality, I would expect that any quality issues are outside of the driver's control. DoorDash should be measuring the quality of the delivery to the extent that it can be measured, not the quality of the order. Like, hey, measure the service, not the order, like it's missing an item or something, right? This seems like yet another attempt to shift responsibility from the restaurants to the driver. So again, these aren't my opinions. These are just some thoughts from drivers and dashers on Reddit. But I do want to kind of take out my own pieces from this and give you my take here. So I think the part about shifting responsibility from the restaurants to the drivers. I said this with the very, very, very short-lived, you might have forgotten about this, item, what did I call it? Item count audits. I forget what I called it, but you might have forgotten when you got to the restaurant and order for Sarah, they give you the bag, you're expected to audit the restaurant at their own job. And this would count even for a sealed bag. Does anyone remember that? It lasted like literally a month or so, at least what I saw here in Pittsburgh. And it would say, have the restaurant open the bag and confirm to you every single item, as if they don't do this every single day for hours a day. And now you're going to have to police them at their own job. Hey, open this bag, verify that the contents. And I'm sure that went over like a lead balloon. And that program was item count audit or whatever we do. So the point is, and I've said this before, are you a courier or are you an auditor? We have the verify items thing now, right? So there's a X, there's a check mark, and you have to verify each. Okay, there's pad thai. Is it there or not? There's a side of spring rolls. Is it there or not? And then there's the kung pao chicken. Is it there or not? So you have to audit that. Now, if the bag is sealed, you can say can't verify. And then it says why? Bag is sealed. And then there's receipt pictures. That's another kind of auditing thing, a little bit softer audit, but I have to take a picture of the receipt. I have not been a big fan of that, but it has been a little bit nice to encourage Dasher accuracy, because I'll show you that picture later on. And so if you're on a stacked offer, right? So here's the pizza, here's an ice cream offer. Drop off number one. Hey, make sure that you're delivering the right one. They show you the receipt, that the picture that you took for the pizza one, to make sure you grab the right one. So, okay, fine. I'm trying to think of any other auditing things here. You get the point. I don't want to feel like I'm auditing merchants per se. We had verify store hours. You remember that? That's still kind of a thing, I think, on Dasher tasks. So it's just added on typically to a pickup. Even that, I mean, I'm just speaking anecdotally in Pittsburgh, I didn't even see that lasting too long. Like, we'll give you an extra $1. Verify the restaurant's hours, either posted hours or you ask an associate. So again, it's like, I was earning some money for that extra $1, but I'm there anyway. It doesn't take that long. And then now we become engrossed in kind of not just a courier, but a little bit of an auditor. Some of the light stuff I don't mind, but if we go too deep on that, it becomes cumbersome. Let's continue. The new quality rating feels deliberate, and there's no way to dispute it. Is anyone else dealing with this? So look at this one right here. Now, here's a Dasher with the updated overall Dasher rating. So overall Dasher rating and quality rates. And you can see the respective point allocation here. So with this one, let's go over what they said about quality rate with respect to a market that has overall Dasher rating. I'm trying to understand how we're supposed to navigate the new quality rating system. Under the current setup, a single issue drops your score by 9 points. And that hit is undisputable. So if you get, marked with an error there, you can't even dispute it. It's reviewed on the back end, but there's nothing you can do to initiate a review here. I was saying, hey, I'd like to see some kind of disputing process, right? It doesn't matter what happened, whether it was outside of your control or whether there's context, it just stays there. The only way it goes away is after 100 completed deliveries. So remember, quality rate is based on the last 100 deliveries. Like your acceptance rate, like your completion rate, they're all based on a last rolling basis of 100 deliveries. They roll off as you keep doing more. But if you have 2 reported issues, I should say major issues, they're each minus 3%. So if you get 2, you have one week, you have another the next week. So you have relatively deliveries that are close together, but now you're minus 6% on quality rate. That doesn't feel like feedback, it feels like a deliberate penalty. What's frustrating is the lack of any mechanism to respond. There's no appeal, there's no explanation, no way to correct a mistake or even understand what specifically triggered it. You just have to take the hit and grind it out. I can run through it in about 5 days, but for people who don't run huge volume, like who aren't delivering a ton, it can take weeks for that 100 deliveries to roll off and for those dings for quality rate to roll through. During that time, your standing, access to orders, and earnings can all be affected by a single uncontested event. Now, what they're referring to is if they have overall Dasher rating, they have the point system. Remember, you can see here, quality rates is going into points. So that all goes into overall Dasher rating, which is V2 of the rewards program, silver, gold, and platinum. So they're saying is, hey, if there's no way for us to initiate a review of that, it's going to affect these drivers in several ways. I'm not saying drivers shouldn't be held to standards, but standards usually come with transparency and some form of due process. Again, that from a Dasher on Reddit. So let me get you my take on this. This is, again, more so saying, okay, if we're going to have quality rates, there's an argument of, is it pushing responsibility from the restaurants to Dashers? A little bit, okay, yeah, I can audit some stuff, verify items, verify store hours, that's one thing. But if you're going to blame me for a damaged item, I didn't do it. It was shipping from the Dash Mart. If you're going to blame the Dasher for what? Order never delivered, which is typically a contract violation, but like, no, that's a fraudulent claim, then it goes against the Dasher. Now, that latter, we've had that for a bit. The fraudulent activity, order never delivered, that's been here. But the newer ones, damaged item, that's new. Missing item, that's been there, but still. Now, let's see a few more here. Here's another point system, and I can see here paper says this V2 that you're actually looking at on screen as well, overall Dasher rating. I mean, it's pretty easy, man. What, 97% quality is 6 out of 15. So if we go back to this one right here, 6 out of 15 point. Actually, it's a great point. Look, 6 out of 15 total points is still a 97%. Take a look at that 1 second. Quality rate, 6 out of 15 is still 97%. So all that means is, the higher percentage, closer to 100, the more points you get, which goes into your points for overall Dasher. But then look here, what I just pulled up. This is another driver, quality rate. Now this, to get, obviously very high is 100%, you get full 10 points, but then high is 98 to 99%. This is 6 to 8 points. Moderate is 96 to 97, 3 to 5 points. So what I'm saying is there's variance. Look, one marketplace, this driver had 6 out of 15. They got 97. Well, I should say, actually, to say that clearer, they're at 97% quality rate and they get 6 points. Versus 97% here in this market would only get you 5 points. I hope that makes sense. Now, that's not a surprise. This stuff does and can vary by marketplace. That includes the points required. Okay. But let's see what this Dasher said right here before we move on, actually. These two major issues have been here since December 26th. What they're referring to is, if you can look there under last 100 orders, right over here, orders with major issues. They have 2. That's what they're referring to right there. Orders with major issues. It's still there despite having done 127 deliveries since then. Why is that an issue? Because remember, it's supposed to roll off after the last 100. It's impossible to stay on there. If it's the last 100 and your error was here and you keep doing deliveries, it's going to roll off as you keep doing more. Okay. Chris, thanks so much for the super chat. I'll get to you in 1 second. Appreciate you watching here, and I appreciate you watching here, folks, as well. I want to finish this last point. Chris was very generous with a nice super chat there. I'll get to you in one moment. I appreciate that. So this dasher is saying, hey, it did not roll off. It's still there, even though I completed 127 deliveries. It's impossible. There's no way to dispute it. Okay, now for this dasher, that's incredibly frustrating that you still have two major issues. It's still on there after they've done 127 deliveries. And you can see that. It'll say how many deliveries you've done in the past 30 days on your ratings tab. So they can 100% see how many deliveries they've done. They can say, I've done 127 deliveries. Why is this still on there? I will say this, like on-time rates, I'm imagining that if that was the case, it's still another glitch. I hate to say that, but I would imagine that it's still a glitch with a new rating, a new installation in the app. I know it's a frustrating reason, but I would bet that that is a glitch. That support would be like, oh yeah, you've clearly done 127 deliveries. That 100% should roll off of your major issues and you should go back up to a, probably perfect quality rate. So we saw glitches with on-time rates. I'm imagining that that's what this is. That could be a glitch there with quality rates. So let me know. I do want to enter our Q&A session, but I did want to get to Chris's very generous super chat here. So let me know in the comments below, or if you're watching live, put your questions in right now. Did you just get quality rates? If so, did you see any glitches or measurements that weren't making sense, like that dasher that we just saw? Do you feel like this is more micromanagement, or do you feel like it's just going to float in the background? My initial verdict, I would like to see this basically be inconsequential. What I mean is, this is another metric that I should not even have to worry about. Like, frankly, that we don't even need it, because like on time rates, if I'm going A to B, which I do, which I use DoorDash's navigation, which I do, integrated, the in-app navigation, and I'm going A to B, I'm not doing anything else. I'm not stopping for gas. I'm not taking any other assignments while on DoorDash. It's inconsequential. I should always be on time, or at least 97, 98% of the time. And I am. Now they're still fixing on-time rate. Let me check really quickly again. My current on-time rate. It is... did I get hit recently? 91%? I thought it was like a little bit higher than that. It still says great, but you get the point. Well, I haven't disputed some of those. That's why. If I disputed, but my point is, I shouldn't even have to dispute. I've said this before. I should not even have to worry about being on time. So to pass this off to quality rates, I should not even have to worry about quality rates. If I'm going A to B, if I'm working on your platform, especially if I'm using your in-app navigation, I'm a little unsure why we have this. Because what? Most everything here, let's pull it back up here. Missing items, damaged items. Now, from what I read, if the bag is sealed, I can't open the bag, it is not going to go against you. So anytime that is popping up, you say bag is sealed, it should not go against minor issues. Also, they said if we didn't remind you about certain items and that item was missing, it's not your fault. Probably a drink, because that's what they remind you about. Hey, there's a drink, don't forget it. Damaged items, I mean, again, I've been doing DoorDash since 2018. I think that might have been my first delivery app. I did rideshare before that. I can't even remember getting damaged items. Have you? Now, if you do shop and deliver If you do shop and deliver, what are your thoughts on that? But then Pro Shopper has its own metrics. That might be more of an issue if you shop damaged items. Now, I mean, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. I want to take your questions here. Are we talking damaged items like your bananas were a little bruised, the apples were a little bruised? Sorry, those were the nicest ones I could find. Or the package on the Q-tips was indented a little bit. Like, I'm sorry, it's not that damaged. They're completely fine, but the customer says they're damaged, right? Where do we draw the line on that? And then wrong order and order never delivered. I would hope that that's not going to change because of quality rate. Like I said, fraudulent customers, I think those reports are going to be still incredibly rare. Hey, I didn't get it when you handed it to somebody. I don't think this is going to influence that whatsoever. Again, the customer is not going to see it. Wrong order delivered. I mean, yeah, if you made a mistake and you didn't pay attention to the receipt picture confirmation reminder, if you didn't look at the bag and you delivered and you mixed them up, that is your fault, and your account should be dinged a little bit. Again, it'll roll off, but I mean, we have two things to do. We pick it up and drop it off. Let's get that right. No, trust me, I've made mistakes as well. I just told you that example where I mixed up orders before at the beginning of this video. So let me know your thoughts down below, and let's move into our question and answer session.